All right, we're joined by Belmont freshman Destinee Wells, 23 points today. Destinee, if you'll just start us off a general thought in the game, then we'll go to anybody that has questions.
Austin P is a really good team, really good defensively. It was a great rounded-out win by me and my teammates, and it was all around fun to play.
If you have a question for Destinee, just let me know in the chat, and then I will call on you in the order I receive those questions. So if you have a question, let's go to Blaine Keller first. Blaine, go ahead.
Destinee, a good game for your team. You and your team tonight, a game high 21 points. But, you know, this is a team that gave Belmont fits last year as well. I know you weren't part of that team, but how much did you guys talk about that overtime game in the first round that you had last year?
Well, we talked about it a lot. We made sure we watched a lot of film on them, made sure we were prepared.
Let's go to Ian. Ian, your question.
Yeah, Destinee. These 20-point games seem to be becoming routine for you. What were you seeing tonight against Austin P, which is a really good defensive team that was allowing you to get downhill, attack the basket, and really collapse their defense?
Yes, they're very good defensively. I just know that I just say to myself, nobody can stay in front of me, and I just take that going into every game.
If anybody else has other questions for Daya, let's go to Christian.
Destinee, it took a lot for this team to get here. You go from Auburn, a month off, a lot of back and forth. You get to finally get in the tournament, get to play. What were the emotions coming into the game, and then obviously the emotions right now after a hard-fought victory?
We're very grateful to be able to be here today, playing, everyone's safe, and it's a great win.
Anybody else? Questions for Destinee? We'll go back to Ian.
So in the fourth quarter there, you guys didn't record a field goal for around 6 minutes. What was going on that was making it difficult to just get good looks?
Austin P is a really good defensive team, and we just kept telling ourselves to push through a little adversity and just move the ball and get baskets when we can.
Blaine, go ahead.
Destinee, it looked like in that second quarter there that you tweaked something in your knee or something in your leg there, maybe a little gimpy
Yes, I had a little blood on
going
my
into
knee
halftime,
after I
and that kind of prompted Austin P to go on, 17 straight points there. I'm sorry, can you hear me?
The knee injury. Yes.
Oh, the knee? Oh, yes. I fell on the play and had a little blood running down my leg. Just needed to get it wrapped up.
Christian?
Gritty game, back and forth, a lot of defense on both sides. What does it mean for this group to find a way to win, find a way to advance in tournament play, give yourself a chance to play on Friday?
It was a great win. We just keep telling ourselves survive in advance.
We'll go back to Ian.
Yeah, the first quarter started off slow for both teams. Were there a bit of nerves there just because of the stakes or the pressure? Or was it just, just a slow start?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of nerves. I know I was pretty nervous. This being my first time here, and I didn't really know what to expect. So, yeah, I was pretty nervous.
Anybody else? Other questions for we got Christian again.
Last one for me, Destinee. What was the talk on the bench down the stretch, right? There were a lot of possessions, a lot of 50-50 balls, continuing to battle. What were the things you were saying to your teammates, but also the upperclassmen who had been here before? What was the talk on the bench like?
I know it was a lot of talk from Jay and Khan. Just keep pushing out, keep rounding out this win, and just survive in advance. Just keep rounding it out, play through the adversity.
Destinee, thank you so much for joining us. We'll go to your head coach now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, we're going to switch to head coach Bart Brooks here. He'll sit down in just a sec. If you got questions for Coach Brooks, just let me know in the chat again, and I will call on you. All right, head coach Bart Brooks. Coach, just a general thought on today's win, and then we'll go to some questions.
Credit to Austin P. Coach Midlick does a great job with this program. They are always ready to play. They make things difficult on both ends of the floor. And I thought their kids did a really good job of competing today and making everything difficult and tough and what it's supposed to be this time of year, to advance and to win. usually got to beat a really good team. And I think that's a really good basketball team that played well today. And, I have a ton of respect for Coach Midlick and his program and, those players in that other locker room, that it's a tough feeling to spill it like they spilled it and to be, their season to be finished at this point. But, a lot of credit goes to our players as well. I think, the toughness that they showed in the second half, especially, we hit a little adversity in the second quarter and probably loosened up some of our focus and our edge that got us a pretty good lead, early in that second quarter, and really proud of our effort and toughness to just finish a tough game.
All right, let's go to some questions here. I'm sorry, I've lost the order here. Ian, I think you might be first. Go ahead, Ian.
Hey, Coach. So a slow start in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, things kind of picked up until Austin Peay went on a 17-3 run there. Going into the game, I asked you, what's it like to play a team you haven't played in the regular season? And you said you had to make some adjustments on the fly during the game. So what did you tell them at halftime after that run?
Yeah, halftime wasn't a whole lot of X's and O's. People would probably be shocked at how little coaching adjustments sometimes happen with X's and O's, but it's so much more about mindset and approach. And I just felt like we were being out tough. They were getting to loose balls. They were playing with more pace. Our defensive effort was good, but then when they picked up their energy and their pace of play, we didn't match it. And I thought that led to that, that 17-3 run. There was a lot of self-imposed, self-inflicted mistakes that, led to some easy baskets for them that we weren't giving them early. So I really do think it's as the game goes, as a coach, you're always looking for answers and looking for ways to take advantage of matchups. And, today it really boiled down to toughness and who's going to be the tougher team. And, credit to our players. They found a way to gut it out down the end.
Go next. We have Blaine.
Coach Brooks, a good win for you and your squad tonight. Austin Peay, a team that's given you trouble in the tournament each of the last 2 years, though an overtime win late against the Governors last year, and then winning in regulation tonight, coming down to the last couple of possessions. What does Coach Midlick do that makes it tough on your girls?
You cut out at the end, Blaine. What makes it tough? What Austin Peay does to make it tough on Belmont?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they've got a really good mix of quickness, athleticism on the perimeter, and then they've got size inside. So they do a good job of protecting the rim, and they can pressure you on the perimeter. And they're a team that it's not easy to find advantages and take advantage of matchups because they do such a great job of pressuring the basketball and not letting the ball see and disrupting your rhythm and timing offensively. So they're a good defensive team for a reason, and obviously their kids were juiced and ready to play today. And Coach Midlick's a great coach. He can coach both sides of the ball, and he puts a lot of pressure on you as a defensive coach. But he's also really good on the other side of the ball. And I thought we played really well defensively, and as good as they were defensively, I thought we were just as good.
We're going to go next to Christian.
Coach, I kind of asked the same thing to Destinee. It took a lot for you guys first to get to the point we're playing. We talked about in November just to play Kentucky. Now we're here in the OVC tournament. What does it mean for this team to fight through everything they did, fight today, and find a way to win? I mean,
it's just I think Destinee said it. We're just grateful. We wake up today and we get to play basketball. It's a pretty darn good day for the Bruins. Any day that happens, and that's how we've approached all year, whether it's been practice or a game. And I just have an unbelievable amount of respect for the young ladies in our locker room, what they've been through this season. Not playing a game for a month and being stuck in a isolation room and being sick and not being able to practice as a team, and then coming back and having to work all those kinks out in front of everyone under the lights in games instead of being able to practice. These kids have been through a ton, and I know it's the same for every program has their own story and their own journey of things they've had to overcome this year. But for us, we're just grateful. We're blessed. We get to play basketball, and that's a pretty darn good day in my book.
Anybody else questions for Coach? Christian, another one. Go ahead.
you've almost been in tournament mode for a while now, Coach, doing 3 games a week here, kind of surviving advances that were coming in. You talked about it. You almost have to coach on the fly. Did those things almost help you today? A sloppy, gritty game down the end, you know, a lot of timeouts trying to adjust and find a way to get some baskets down the end. You think your team responded today, and maybe those other games kind of helped in that effect?
I'm actually thinking it might have been the opposite. If we actually had a practice today, this week on Monday, and had we not practiced, we're used to just day before game light shoot arounds and then play, you know, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and rarely have a practice. So it might have worked the other way. We might have had too long a layoff between our last game. But, you know, there is something to that. You know, the schedule that these young ladies have faced for the 6 weeks of our conference season was, you know, condensed 16 or 17 games in 6 weeks, or 16 games in 6 weeks, I guess. So it was a lot of basketball in a very short amount of time. And, you know, that's what you gotta deal with here at the tournament. So I do think we're very prepared for that. And luckily we get a day off, and we get to relax and enjoy the beautiful accommodations of the Evansville Doubletree Hotel. And, you know, we get to play some more basketball on Friday.
We'll go one more question, final question. Ian, go ahead.
Those last 5 minutes where you guys didn't record a field goal made, what were you saying in the timeouts and seeing on the floor there on the sidelines as you guys struggled to score the ball?
You know, I think we were in a place offensively where we were struggling to find rhythm. We didn't have great rhythm, but we knew we could take advantage of some matchups and maybe get some players, you know, Destinee getting some isolation looks with some of the ball screen stuff that we ran. And you know, we also, I thought, did a good job of getting to the free throw line. You know, they were aggressive all day, and that's something that we thought we could hopefully expose and take advantage of, is getting ourselves a free throw line. I thought we did that down the stretch, and, you know, made up for not making shots. You know, I don't know that our team's had a game where we've been 1 for 11 from 3, and credit to Austin P for making it that kind of night for us. But we, you know, again, we found a way to get to the free throw line, and that really saved us down the stretch.
Coach, thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll talk to you again on Friday.
Thank you, guys.